of course, David Ornstein drops the news that Florian Wirtz is very interested in the Liverpool move, has been house hunting in the area, which, I mean, that feels cliche number one ticked off, right? And also likes the Liverpool prospect. Not only that, but City apparently chose to pull out of the deal as soon as they found out that Liverpool were involved, and Bayern felt very threatened. Guys, what is in the Michael Edwards deck of come to Liverpool that we need to know and see? Because, seriously, the pitch that they will have given him, the fact that it can rival these other teams, even in the first place, just to turn someone's head, even just to go, hey, maybe you should think about us. You know, have you thought about this at all? Do you ever think about Liverpool? It's pretty incredible. And Ornstein is not only dropping one Cheshire House piece of news after the other, but he's also talking about the fact that Florian is interested in the project. He's obviously tempted by the long-term football under Slot. That's something that Man City couldn't offer. They couldn't offer him the idea of long-term football under Pep because of Pep Guardiola's contract term. Not only that, but apparently Pep Guardiola was a bit of a concern, should we say, for Florian's parents, in that they thought that the tactics that Pep employs might in some way hamper the creativity of Florian, and that is apparently where Liverpool really excelled. They pitched him a lot on the style of play, they pitched him on the lifestyle, the way that you would live and be and interact in Liverpool, the lifestyle around Liverpool. Obviously, he's already been at Leverkusen, a team, you know, that punches up in some capacity. Sorry, there will be some of these throughout. I'm not going there, guys. I'm not going there. Not going there. Gate 59. Anyway, gate 59. Florian, if you're flying, fly private. It also makes it a bit easier for us to track because we can just see where you went from to the other one. Anyway, sorry about that. About the creativity, the idea that Florian Wirtz can fulfill his maximum potential. I would have thought that Bayern would have had a pretty big pitch on that, right? I would have thought that Munich, I mean, maybe they did, and then they just weren't willing to pay the money, or the 150 million euro that apparently Liverpool are looking to get close to or fulfill. That seems to apparently be the big thing right now. Liverpool themselves as a club are communicating that they feel that there may still be a chance that Florian Wirtz stays in Germany, but specifically in Leverkusen this summer. And they're also, I guess that's with respect to Leverkusen, they're also saying, obviously, that there are multiple different options on the table. You know, £150 million for Isak this summer looks pretty reasonable. €150 million for Florian Wirtz looks even more reasonable considering all of the attacking attributes that you get. His creativity. I've read every article about him at this point. If you boil him down, he's a player who's 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of the game at any one time, putting you even further ahead. And then he's also able to unlock the potential of the other people around him. Not only that, but with the other piece of Frimpong coming in, the great relationship that we have with Bayer already, the fact that we aren't Munich, all of these things are adding up in our favour at the moment. That is all to say that this is still just a rumour, and David Ornstein reporting things doesn't always mean that the player is on the way holding the shirt or whatever it is. But it does mean that we are competing in these markets. And it does mean that Liverpool are looking to make a statement signing this summer. And getting him, I know that we've said this about Caicedo, we've said this about a few other players. Virgil van Dijk was a statement signing. Alisson was there have been multiple statement signings during the FSG era, so don't tell me that Liverpool won't make those kind of statement signings under FSG. It's obvious that when they believe the value is there and that value can be proven statistically, then Liverpool make an investment. And I've got to admit, Michael Edwards coming back in last summer, a lot of people were underwhelmed. A lot of people said, well, you know, we're moving in the right direction. We knew broadly that we were. I mean, if you are familiar with Michael Edwards' work, you knew he was moving in the right direction. Not only that, but I've got to admit, guys, if we're signing Florian Wirtz, that must mean that there are some other pieces involved in that, what should we say, like chessboard? That I think that means that Frimpong, Wirtz, a left back, a midfielder. I don't think there's going to be a centre back, but all, you know, kind of the retooling bits that Arne Slot needs are going to be made available to him this summer or over the next few windows. And I think that is what gives me the most hope. Of course, all of the above is now an assumption, because realistically, we could have just been competing against Bayern once City pulled out, because City don't like getting into the transfer back and forth, should we say. Bayern were the only other option. And if they didn't make a particularly compelling option, maybe he didn't like the manager's ideas, apparently he didn't particularly like the manager's ideas, maybe he didn't like the temporary nature that he felt the manager was there with, maybe he did prefer the Liverpool option, but maybe they're also looking to widen those options. You know, you never know. There might, apparently at one point Real Madrid was sniffing around. That is the level of player that we're talking about here. It's also kind of scary when you think about that as the level of player we're talking about here, because that means that there is very much the thought that could be the case in the future as well. Of course, he is also at the beginning of his journey and his career. He's only 20, he's in his early 20s, 22 at the moment, but he's still developing from an attacking perspective. He is the kind of player that Liverpool want to get and be able to shape into the thing that they want, right? If we're thinking about other players who've come in the number 10 position in the past, like I said, the most recent one has been Felipe Coutinho. And realistically, we got the best out of him at Liverpool. He went on to have a little bump, and then, I mean, he didn't fall off a cliff, but, you know, things changed a little bit afterwards. Number 10s, historically, have been exciting players for Liverpool. Florian would be not only a 10, he'd operate as a false 9. I think it probably also signals the exit for Luis Diaz this summer. I think it probably also definitely signals the exit for someone like Darwin Núñez. And I also think it probably means that there is one more player, probably to quite a reduced fee, who comes in this summer and would play alongside him. That could be someone who plays as like an auxiliary 9, so someone who can rotate and be a value signing for Liverpool, think Diogo Jota style. Or that could be someone who plays the left wing side of that. We've already got Gakpo out there, but someone else who's able to come in. I think we're looking at more of a striker type player. There is obviously also the formality of paying a lot of money. And I do think that would mean that over the next few seasons, we would be looking at Liverpool not going back into the market, and this would be our big window. Then it's about betting those players in, and then it's about keeping that Premier League title. Liverpool would be making a statement this summer by signing Florian Wirtz. It would not be we are here to compete. It would be we are here to retain. It would be we are here to continue to build. It would be you thought the Klopp era was good, try this one. And with Liverpool lifting a title on Sunday, Monday coming up, I think that there is an even more compelling argument coming to Florian Wirtz that this is the club for you in the long term. We've spoken about the on-field elements. We've spoken about the compelling case that someone like Arne Slot makes. Well, why not now talk about the compelling cultural element that, say, Liverpool fans make, that, you know, in general the culture of the city make, that Anfield makes, that FSG makes, that the other Liverpool players, Salah, Van Dijk, Alisson, previously, you know, the great players of Liverpool, Mane, those kind of guys, these have all been loved. They've all left, and they've never found the same level of love somewhere else. Florian, are you that next guy? Are you our next brilliant German? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you also excited? I'll do a summary video tomorrow. Obviously, there'll be a preview for the game on Sunday. There is a super chat down there. There is a Patreon, and there is a Discord. Get in all three of them. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the flip side. Enjoy the Florian Wirtz news, because it's just a bit of fun.